So hungry. Yes? Please, I need food.
Oh, you poor thing. Do you want this? Psych! Did you really think I'd give this to you? This bread cost me money. Giving it to you would be like giving you my money, which will never happen.
But I'm starving, and you're inside enjoying your luxuries.
As long as King Louis is the king of France, I, a noble, will stay rich. And you, a peasant, will stay poor. That's how our country rolls. Have a good day.
Oh, sure, while I starve to death.
You there! We saw what just happened, and what that selfish noble did to you was wrong. We commoners deserve better. We deserve equality.
What are we gonna do? Start a war called the French Revolution?
The French Revolution was inspired by Enlightenment thinkers who believed in equality and wisdom.
Rousseau and Locke thought that the people should be the foundation of a government and they should hold the power.
Voltaire was against an absolute monarchy where one person holds all the power. He was sent to jail many times for criticizing the king and the church. This influenced the French people to rebel against their government.
Montesquieu believed in separating powers, and Thomas Jefferson influenced the French Declaration of Rights because of his thoughts of liberty.
We are so broke. The bank won't lend us any more money to pay off our country's debt.
King Louis, there's much of a simple solution to that. Raise taxes for the peasants.
That's a great idea.
That was not a great idea. France was still broke. So as you can see, King Louis XVI and his wife Marie Antoinette weren't very good leaders. The peasants were still suffering from famine, and the philosophers were striking down the powers of the church. In May 1789, Louis called the convocation of the Estates General, which was a meeting of all three estates. The estates were different classes of people. The first and second estates were the clergies and the nobles. They were the rich and privileged and paid no taxes. The third estate were the commoners, which made up 97% of the population. They paid all the taxes. This inequality encouraged people to make a change.
A clergyman named Emmanuel Joseph Sieyès told the peasants to form their own group called the National Assembly and become the voice of the country. On June 17, 1789, the Third Estates agreed to this, and that was the first act of the revolution.
Ugh.
These peasants are going to ruin my wealth. I know. I'll lock them out so they can't have their meeting.
Look, that king of ours thinks he's so clever. We go on Pete for a second. He locks us out of our meeting.
Come on, let's go find another group. We can have our meeting in this indoor tennis court.
I, a member of the Third Estate, hereby take the tennis court oath and promise that I will not leave until we've written a new constitution for this country.
To show King Louis who's boss!
This war isn't over yet. French peasants raided the Bastille prison for guns on July 14, 1789 to defend themselves from Louis' guards. This was called the Fall of Bastille, a big turning point in the war.
Rights. There, we finally finished the Declaration of the Rights of Man and of the Citizen.
It ensures that all men have the right to freedom, property, and safety.
The beginning of the revolution caused a great fear in France.
In Versailles, on October 1789, peasant women attacked the royal palace because the price of bread was too high. This event signaled a change of power.
Hey, give us some bread!
Meanwhile, Prussia and Austria were afraid that this might happen to their government, so they started a war with France. Jean-Paul Marat, a member of the Jacobins, wrote a newspaper called L'Ami du Peuple. He wanted everybody who supported the king to die. Ironic, isn't it?
My name is Wars Danton. I want to give poor people equal rights as the rich.
1793, King Louis was accused of treason and was executed. Hey, look what I got.
Hey, oh, get that thing away from me. Why do you have a chopped head?
I chopped it off with a guillotine. Maximilian Robespierre, a Jacobin leader, told me to chop off the head of anyone who goes against the revolution.
Well, that's pleasant and terrifying.
He killed about 40,000 people. That's why his rule was called the Reign of Terror.
Hi, I'm Napoleon Bonaparte, and I led the French army during the revolution. After the war, I helped restore order in France, and I did a way better job than Louis XVI. And that was the end of our French Revolution.
After everything that happened,
France became a republic.
And the voices of the citizens were finally heard.
We have time.
I know.